Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Driver. I'm going to be your instructor for Literature 404, Mark Twain. I know many of you are experienced online learners, especially since this is an upper level literature course, but just in case, I wanted to give you a few pointers before you get started with the class. First, make sure to read my introduction, announcement. Every week, I will be posting an announcement just like all your other courses. It will give you a general feel for what's due during the week and some extra hints that might help you with future written assignments. I also want you to take a look at my department late policy clarification. Recently, the department has put into stone what the late policy will be in this department. So please take a look at it. Of course, if you have extenuating circumstances, I will work with you. This will be on a case-by-case basis. And I would like to know about these circumstances, though, prior to the assignment due date. I also wanted to make sure you're aware that the librarian has office hours. You have a research paper due during week 7, so perhaps this information will be of interest to you. Next, after going through the announcements, click on the syllabus, and many of you have already done this, which is great. Just a quick note about my office hours. They do vary. I post them on Monday usually. If I forget, just send me a message. At the latest, I'll let you know what my office hours are for the week on Tuesday. Note though that I'm online all the time. I mean, basically all the time, every day of the week. So if you have a question, feel free to send me a message and I will respond to you, most likely before 24 hours. So let's just take a look at the syllabus briefly. Note that you'll have 3 papers due for this course. The final project is due during week 7 and it's worth 30% of your grade, so it's a good portion of your grade. The first 2 essays aren't that weighted. However, the first essay is weighted more than the second essay. The second essay is more like a narrative, and we'll talk about that later as the course moves forward. But the first essay will be based on Huckleberry Finn. I hope you've started reading the novel. It's an excellent novel, of course, and I think you will enjoy it. And let's just take a look. This just kind of gives you an idea of what assignments are due. Now, note in week 1, we have Mark Twain episode 2 loaded for as a optional assignment. This is not loaded in the lesson anymore because, as a student pointed out to me, that video is no longer available. So what I would like for you to do is to go into YouTube. Sorry, I was going to pull it up, but it's probably easier if you just do this through what I've told you instead of me showing you. Just do a search for Ken Burns' Mark Twain. It's a documentary. It's an excellent documentary, and bits and pieces of it are loaded on YouTube. It's not freely available, but it is in its entirety. But you can watch parts of it online through YouTube, and it gives you an excellent idea of Mark Twain's background. And his biography is kind of important for this course, so I would like for you to get a general feel for the issues that he faced later on in his life and how that affected his writing. So if you see Ken Burns' Mark Twain on YouTube, that would be very useful. You could also rent it, but that's not expected or required. But I do want you to read the reading, and it's actually the best way to probably open it up is through the lessons. So after you look at the syllabus, I do want you to go through the course overview, getting started, and then I do want you to read the lesson. If you click on reading and resources, you will find the required reading for this week. If it doesn't pull up for you, sometimes it can pull up and sometimes it doesn't. If it does not pull up for you, please go ahead and cut and paste the link into your web browser, and then it will pull up for you. Okay? So basically what I want you to do is I want you to read this section, and I want you to think about how his work, the class kind of shows a change not only in his writings but in Twain himself. In Huckleberry Finn, it's a realistic novel using common vernacular. It's very telling of the time period and some of the issues that obviously were faced during the Civil War. He did not write this during the Civil War. However, it's an important work because it shows an African American character being portrayed as a person, as an important, thoughtful, thinking, feeling person. Oftentimes, the African Americans were portrayed as caricatures or flat characters, and Twain portrayed his character as a round person and a likable person at that. He's not perfect. Twain, I mean, is not perfect. He did show some colorful language. Some might say that it is possibly racist. That's for you to decide. That's part of the debate, is because some of the terminology he used in this work, is, controversial, that some might say that the work is racist. However, most people who have actually read the work in its entirety realize that it's not racist, and it's actually showing how flawed Europeans were, typical white American Europeans were during this time period, and how their treatment of African Americans was wrong. And he uses a lot of satire. It's quite funny. There are some scenes, some lines in it that are just laugh out loud funny. It can be a little difficult with the conversations between Jim and Huck because the vernacular is rather thick, so you might find that a little tricky. So I imagine that you might want to, consult a summary site, and that's okay. But make sure you actually read the story as well. We're going to discuss it next week, but it would be to your advantage because the reading is a little bit light this week. It's to your advantage to begin reading Huckleberry Finn this week. So then I want you to post in the discussion forums. Now this course is not exactly small. There are plenty of people in this course, so you should have plenty of opportunities to discuss this semester. So it says here to please respond to at least 2 classmates. However, I know many of you are majoring in English or majoring in literature, or many of you are almost towards graduating. So I know you're shooting for a high score. If you want to get a high forum discussion score, you need to post more than twice. You need to read your classmates' discussions, and you need to try to really enter into a conversation with your classmates. Okay? I really want, for a perfect score, I really do expect, perfection. Absolute perfection. No, I'm just kidding. Not absolute perfection, but I want you to try really hard. Use the readings. Show me that you've used the readings. Show critical thinking. I don't require citations in the forums, and I don't expect perfect grammar. These are free-flowing conversations, and that's what I'm looking for. Just a lot of conversations, a lot of participation on your part. Note that the initial posts are due on Wednesday, okay? And all of the posts are due on Sunday, okay? Now, during this week, you're discussing what you know about Mark Twain, and really, I don't expect everyone to know everything about Mark Twain. In fact, some of you might be novices with the author's work, and that's fine. I'm not expecting perfection, okay? Well, I think that's about it. Oh, and also please make sure to post that you confirmed the late policy. Well, that's about it. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you this semester. I hope you're excited about the course. I am. And it'll be interesting to see how Twain changes from Huckleberry Finn to the mysterious stranger by the end of the course. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and learning from you this semester. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.